YouTube, welcome back. I got you a new video. Well, this one is going to be a little bit more different than our usual post-game commentaries, because in this one I believe I learned quite a lesson. The error of my ways. You know, I've been going berserker breeze, if I'm not mistaken, for some of my matches. Well, quite a lot of my matches, and it was only until this last one right here where I basically got whooped that I learned the error of my ways, where I shouldn't be going something like Berserker Greaves. It's definitely not something that would work in my playstyle. That doesn't mean I'm gonna go the normal playstyle, because that also doesn't work for me. I need to figure out what works for me and go that. So after this experience, which I'm showing you right now, I cooked up something I could really stick to. So let's see exactly what happened in this match, and then go ahead and dissect everything. So first things first, you can see I'm getting poked completely out of lane. Now, yes, I do have cookies, which is good, but you only get 3, and after 3, that's it. Runs out. I'm thinking to deal with this poke, it's probably best if I have second wind, or even bone plating, forcing all in and maximize the damage block. But I didn't do that, so now I'm just dealing with this. Look how much HP I lost. If I'm not mistaken, I'm forced to use one of these cookies eventually. Okay, so there's a fight that looks like it's gonna happen. I don't have my E because I missed it like a buffoon, and my health is 1 for 1, but as you can see, there's not really much good coming from me. I didn't play well enough. Both junglers, they just traded flashes and didn't end up killing each other, so it was literally just 1 for 1 from both top laners. But I can't say I liked it too much, just because it wasn't right. We are definitely behind, especially since she can just TP back to lane. I mean, to be fair, so far it's not too bad. I don't see so far like having resolve or having inspiration. There's not too much of a difference. There definitely needs to be a little bit better gameplay coming from my side, especially since I'm trying to reside and keep master tier, right? So I definitely need to ensure that I don't fail this hard, you know. One thing I'd say that would help me most definitely, if I had second wind, I'm pretty sure I would regen more HP, and I'll be able to CS more creeps without actually dying, or should I say losing all of that HP. I'll have more HP in my chamber. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of changing up the runes a little bit, but let's go into realistically why everything is going wrong. So Nocturne, oh, wow, it looks like a 3v2. I engage in on the Ambessa, and my health bar just goes kapoof. Bro, I'm thinking bone plating could have done something there, but it could have also been on cooldown. Never know. I did go for cookies, but the thing is, my health bar just kapoofed so quickly. I don't think the healing... They just had too much damage. Way too much damage. And I ended up tanking everything. A little bit of an unfortunate situation for me to be in. I don't think there was any survival for me there, especially since I didn't have Psalms. I'm looking at my replay, and I see myself in this position quite often. A lot of my health bar is gone, and her health is just high because she's just constantly poking me. That's where I feel as if second wind would really help me. I'd at least have like a good 200-300 more HP rather than lose everything, you know. So definitely thinking about making that change. But there's another thing that we need to also talk about, and that is the fact that I'll be going Berserker Grease this game, and I'll soon come to realize why that was wrong. Just for context, I want you to know that when we died the second time, we could see how much damage we were taking, and how we were basically locked into one spot. Not looking too good. So for me to go Berserker Greaves instead of something defensive, I don't. Looking back, I don't really buy it, you know? Well, seeing as I'm this low, she has all the authority to just jump on me. This could have been flashed. This could have been flashed. I played this horribly. But even though, yes, I did play it incorrectly, I could have just flashed the R. What put me in that position to begin with? You already know. Eating all that poke. Nothing I can really do. So, I definitely am starting to digest the mistake with I suppose like relying on inspiration tree. I'd say against like the better players it might be more difficult to make it work. I think the reason why inspiration was working so well for me is because the people I be facing, they kind of don't capitalize on its weakness, you know. So maybe I was wrong with inspiration this entire time. Unfortunately, there's a lane swap. I think it's because bot lane already took the tower, and they ended up on top lane. I couldn't get the pull off from there. This game is played very horribly from me, 100%, in every shape and form. Can she even get it? I mean, they're doing well, but well, me looking at this, and now I see this is where I wanted to get to. The mistake number 2 is well, actually, there's 3 mistakes. The first one was me not going the resolve tree, you know. I think the resolve tree could be used a whole lot better than the inspiration tree. Mistake number 2 is my gameplay. Just, you know, just agreeing to get poked for that amount of HP and then putting myself in very, very difficult positions. Not looking too good at all. And number 3 is going Berserker Greaves when I'm taking all of this damage. Definitely bad. Another thing to add on top of that, I guess number 4 is we actually are at, if I'm not mistaken, we're building Wing Moon Plate, stopping and then going into Sterix Gauge. That build is gonna have to change as well. So I think, to be fair, this game is kind of already decided. They ended up winning the game later on, but I started to see more and more cracks in my play style, and I just don't agree with. If I'm not mistaken, let me just show you the build. It's mainly these 4 items. The last item, I don't really care what it is. The game isn't supposed to last that long anyway. Looking at it, I'm like, yeah, this isn't it. So let's close this one out because we're going to talk about what I will be doing. Right, so the next rune page we're going to have a crack at will be this. I'm going to be using the resolve tree because the resolve tree over the inspiration tree, as much as I like cookies and free boots, definitely the free boots, plus it's better boots than your normal boots. As much as I like it, have to kind of understand, maybe it's just me maturing, getting into Master Day, understanding that the game is now different for me and it's going to be more difficult. Second wind is going to be more used than cookies. It's going to be used throughout the entire laning phase. So I think it's going to be more, it has more active time than cookies does. Cookies is a 3 time use. Yes, it does have its HP, but I don't believe it's worthy enough for you to take. Now, the resolve tree, one thing I do want to say is everything in this row is placebo and doesn't really do anything. Really doesn't. Here, this is useless because especially if fights happen, 2-3 fights happen before 12 minutes, you are down a rune. Definitely not taking this. Bone plating, it is good. especially in certain conditions. But I think the more consistent rune is going to be Second Wind, because bone plating goes on cooldown. Second Wind does not. Second Wind obviously is not going to be as potent as bone plating, because bone plating can save you from ganks and stuff like that, if it's off CD. But especially like a Fiora lane, she just needs to proc a vital and then move away with some movement speed, and then you're down a rune. I don't really like that idea, so I do kind of favor Second Wind. Everything in here is horrible except Demolish. Now, Demolish is a controversial one, because sometimes you won't even be able to proc it, because the enemy top lane is just standing right next to the tower waiting for you to go for the Demolish proc to begin the all in and chunk half of your HP, and then yeah, I understand that, but with how everything else is mediocre, this is it. Overgrowth is good, but you're waiting for a long time to make use of it, and you won't miss it that much. I'm not gonna lie to you. Revitalize is pointless. Darius isn't one of those champions that really rely on healing like that. Not like Aatrox. So definitely not that. Think about it. You don't even go Spirit Visage. So why are you even looking at this rune? And Unflinching, I don't see the point in it, because you don't have any resistance to scaling. So I wouldn't. That's why I don't really like it. Yeah, you could use it, but nah, I'd rather not. We go Demolish, mostly because it's going to link to an item that we're going to currently buy. Let me go over that item real quick. Okay, time to introduce you to my plan. We're actually going Hullbreaker. Okay, so here's the way I'm thinking about the build. You see, when it comes to boots, I looked at everything. I looked at absolutely everything. Obviously, there's going to be the ones where you just don't touch or even look at, because it doesn't really relate to Darius in any shape or form, such as Sork boots and Symbiotic Souls. That doesn't relate to Darius even in the slightest. Now, there's the unorthodox items, such as Lucidity boots and Berserker Greaves, that you would never see on Darius, but can be used on Darius. As much as I don't mind these two boots, just because like you can use it, but it's not good, because as you've seen, Darius can really look like a balloon, and he can just get popped just like that, which is why I don't really favor that. Swifties, it's good. The problem is that it has no form of durability that I don't really like, and I don't see Darius as that much of a fast champion, not really. So I don't really wanna invest too much in that. I want to invest more in durability, which means if we cancel all of those out, you are left with two: Merc Treads and Tabis, or plated steel caps. I'm looking at these items and I'm like, well, this one I'm only going to be able to use against AD champions, which, can be good, but I'm kind of down on Tenacity, which makes me look at my only option being Merc Treads, which I actually like, because it has 30%, not 20, 30%. It also has Magic Resist, which Darius actually is low on, so we can use this. Will I be using this into AD champions? Yes, because the tenacity can really help, especially with like AD champions that stun you and stuff like that, such as Riven. Obviously, you're not gonna rush it. Don't be daft. I don't think that's something you should be doing. But it is the way that I see myself building. Probably like after first item or something like that. Anyways. First item is going to be Hullbreaker. The reason why it's Hullbreaker and not Sterak's is because it's not really to do with the overstacking tenacity. Not really anything to do with that. The way Sterak's works is you need HP first to make it really useful. If you rush it, you're kind of not getting its value, if you know what I mean. So I get it. third. There's arguments to get it second. I understand, but I think you need resistances, and I think you still need more movement speed before you actually get it. Which is why after I finish Hullbreaker, I finish either Force of Nature or DMP, depending on what type of damage I'm facing, and then I go for Sterak's finish. And then I think after Sterak's finish, I think we go for armor or magic resist, whichever one I didn't get, and then follow up for wing moonplate, and then finish the build, finish my 4-item build. If for some reason I don't finish my item, I don't finish the game, and I'm at going into six items. Honestly speaking, the game is doomed, and I'm outscaled, and my champ has expired. But if we ever get to that stage, I believe this is where you include blood mail. If not blood mail, I suppose Spear of Shojin. If not that, maybe Titanic Hydra. Really? Maybe. The thing is, it doesn't really matter. I mean, yeah, we can literally just place that in there, but you could do the 1, 2, or 3. I don't think it should be Jack Show. It really doesn't matter because the game's over anyway. But it's going to be one of these 3 items. Hopefully, ideally speaking, you just don't actually get to that stage. Now, I know I've been yapping a lot, but it was necessary because I do need to understand all of these things, and this thought process that is going on in my head. Not only is it important for me to understand because it made me realize that I don't go Berserker Grease no more, but it's also important for you to realize so that you know what I'm doing in my future games, especially on this little quest of mine to maintain Master Tier, because now that we have it, we now need to maintain it, and I'm definitely not going to be able to do it with old habits. Gotta adapt to the reality of my matches and how they've changed, how they've gotten harder. So yes, Darius is a squishy champion, and I think we need to opt into some tankiness, which is why I kind of dropped the death stance, although death stance is good for like blocking some damage or like even negating it, especially if you get some kills with the replenish and stuff like that. But I think I'm very certain of this, HP is king, so we already know what needs to be done. Well, with that being said, thank you for watching today's video. It wasn't the gameplay I was really wanting to, or should I say eager to show you, but it is something still important from me, and important that I think you need to see, especially since you already know it's gonna correlate in my future matches. So it had to be done one way or the other. With that being said, thank you for watching. Do the YouTube usuals, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and watch more videos. Anyways, that's it from me. All my links are down in the description below. Have a nice rest of your day, and peace late.